We'll take up item 7. City Manager, you have a report on that?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. At your December 7th meeting, you briefly discussed talking to the city manager. It's kind of a bit odd for me to be doing it this way, but to be talking to the city manager, David Tyson, about his continued employment with the city of Eureka. And we have had those discussions with the city council. This action here tonight and recommendation is to authorize the mayor to execute a city manager at will employment agreement with David W. Tyson's through December 31st, 2012, a 2-year extension to his past contract.
Mr. Leonard.
I wasn't planning on commenting on this item tonight. My name's Jeff Leonard. I live on D Street in Eureka, and I served for 8 years on the Eureka City Council, and I can tell you there's one person in the city of Eureka who has to answer the phone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's the city manager. And for the 8 years I was on the council, David always answered the phone. Doesn't matter what time of day, what day of the week, he goes out and gets the work done. I've never seen anyone more dedicated to the prosperity and success of the city than David Tyson. I've never seen anyone put in more overtime hours than this man right here. So I congratulate you. I think this is a great idea. I'm glad you were able to get him to stay on for a couple more years. Kudos for you. It's going to be a feather in your cap, and you've made a great decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick Bravo, Eureka. I just want to say, David, you are a great city manager. From what I've seen in other cities and compared to some of the bigger cities, you have got it together. You know what you're doing. I mean, you keeping all them in line, I mean, that's a tough job. So I got to say, I am glad you're going to be city manager for a few more years. Keep up the good work.
In the words of our former mayor, age before beauty. Nice to be here with you tonight. Mike Jones from the great city of Eureka. I'm so happy to be here and to share with you just part of what Leo said, because I was having a conversation today with somebody who was from Walnut Creek, California, moved here about 3 or 4 years ago, and they were so impressed by our city manager. And I said to myself, I said, does anyone remember some of my parting words from a chair over here about the gold standard? And this is the gold standard of city managers. And in the infamous words of Indiana Jones, you would choose wisely to keep him. He is the Fort Knox of gold, my friends. And this is a great night for us. I am so pleased to be here and to echo the sentiments of the people who have spoken already. And not only that, but the sentiments of another mayor. Actually, I guess she is the, what do we call her? I can't remember, Frank. She's the mayor of Cutton. Her name is Maud. And she would be
Unofficial
mayor of, thank you. Thank you very much for that. I can't emphasize enough how the knowledge that's upstairs in this man's head and the spirit that he has for the city of Eureka, and I know without a doubt that he will definitely honor your vote tonight, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Virginia Bass.
I'm Virginia Bass, and I meant to speak tonight. So, and I'm not here as a supervisor, and I'm not here as a former council member and mayor. I'm actually here as a resident of Eureka. I've lived here all my life, and I think I have some really good experience about what's happened in the last 20 years or so. I'm here in support of extending David Tyson's contract because he represents what's good in this community. He represents stability. Many of you remember the years where there was a revolving door of city managers. And I can't imagine what it was like to try to govern a community when you had the constantly changing rules. And David's been here 10 years, and while we've all, as a community, had the ups and downs, and there have been trials and, you know, tough times, I think the city has come through very well. And I think a lot of it has to do with, I guess you'd call the rudder. And with all the changes that have happened, a new council coming on board, a lot of retirements, I think stability is really important right now. Something I wanted to mention I haven't heard yet is, to David Tyson, this isn't just a job. This is his life. He's got a sense of community that is hard to beat. He's been an active parent, an active community volunteer, and he is definitely the vision of a public servant. He's got respect for people, whether they agree with him or not, and he has respect and trust in the process. And I know how much the process drives a lot of us crazy because it takes so long, and it seems that sometimes it just doesn't go the right way. But there's a reason that we have process. So I can't think of anyone better to continue leading this community and being at the side of the council and mayor than David Tyson, and I just wanted to come here and give my support.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no one else coming forward, we'll bring it back to council. Do you have any more questions of the city manager? Linda?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. I have to say that David and I haven't agreed on a lot of stuff. However, I think it would be a really bad idea at this time with the new council and all of the department heads who have left and the transitions that are happening for us to dump our experienced city manager for an unknown. And I think it's a really good idea to extend this contract for 2 years, keep David here. He's a vast resource of information, and I've appreciated all the information he's given to me over the first 2 years of my term. And I will keep disagreeing with you, but I am glad we're keeping you for another 2 years.
Thank you. Is there any other comments or discussion? Okay, then proceed to vote.
Unanimous yes vote. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Okay, just briefly before we move to item 10.